should say. But Bethany is indeed very honored that we are serving today as hosts for this service of remembrance for Gus Heningburg, citizen of the world. And we welcome each of you to feel at home. Now, if you don't, that's on you. But we were founded in 1871 in the great city of Newark, and we continue in our effort to perfect our aim to be of service to the people of our community. So when the opportunity presented itself to host a service for one of Newark's finest, we jumped at the opportunity. I've known Gus Heningburg since I had hair. And each of us know some part of Gus Heningburg. And I know, Dr. Price, at the end of this day, those of us who knew only certain parts will know him more fully by the testimonies of those here who knew him best. I guess you literate people have read the Star-Ledger this morning, and I was quite intrigued to learn how all of a sudden I didn't have to sit in gas lines after Sandy. How many of you read the paper? Lead article today, huh? The story of how New Jersey got gas, right? And I sat in a few of those lines, Mr. Mayor, as I think you may have, but I learned from reading this article that we got 12 million gallons of gas because our governor dared to call the man with the power to make the gas come. And that's just a little indication of how things are done behind the scenes. Who would have imagined this governor talking to this president so we could have gas? But the power of the presidency and, of course, how things are often done outside the glare of light. Gus Heningburg did many things in public, and those of us who've paid attention know a great deal about that. But what we should also make clear is that Gus did perhaps even more things. He made more things happen behind the scenes. He could do this not only because he knew everybody, but because his integrity and his purpose were unassailable. Gus Heningburg, what you saw is what you got. I remember when I had hair, my good friend Larry Ham and I, anti-apartheid activists as we were, decided we were a bit frustrated after Assemblyman Willie Brown of this city, the late Willie Brown, sponsored the divestment bill in the state of New Jersey's assembly. And the Senate, Alan Karcher was speaker. Some of you remember Alan Karcher. And the Senate subsequently voted yea on the bill, but our governor, Tom Kean, the Honorable Tom Kean, had not for some time indicated what he would do about this bill. Lynn, you remember this. So Larry and I decided, before I came to Bethany, now let's keep that in mind, and we hid this part of my story before when Bethany was considering me so that I would get a positive call from the church. But so Bill Howard and Larry Ham decided we would sleep on the State House steps. And the word went out that we were going to do this. And people came from everywhere. And by 1 o'clock in the morning, the neighbors were calling the police on us, because the people of Trenton went down to the local soul food restaurant, bought us some of the most delicious food, some 3 or 4 musicians came, and they were playing music and whatnot. And the neighbors were saying, "Get the heck out of this community. It's time to go to sleep." But we were there when the people came the next morning. And we kept wondering, when were we going to get arrested? That's what we wanted, you know. Nobody would arrest us. And then finally, that morning at about, just before 9 o'clock, because people had begun to file in to work. And Al, the state police came, and we said, "Oh, man, now here it's coming." And the guy said, "Excuse us, Mr. Ham, Mr. Howard." "Yes, yes." The next words we expected to hear, "You're under arrest." He said, "The governor would like to see you." So we went in. The governor hosted a very wonderful conversation about the nature of apartheid and the point of the bill. And then the meeting ended very politely. And as we dispersed, I'm driving away from the State House. I guess I'm about 15 or 20 minutes away. And it came on the news that Governor Kane had decided to sign the divestment bill. It was quite some time later, with a few lost hairs, that I learned from someone other than Gus that we had not been arrested summarily, because Gus heard that we were there, and he called the governor to say, "I know these guys. I bet we have so many stories like this in the audience." Gus's quiet intervention to make good things happen. And so it's, in my view, the best place for us to be today, to be together, to remember his extraordinary and selfless legacy, some of which cannot be spoken aloud in the sanctuary of God. But he is a great illustration of how really important things can happen without standing in front of a microphone. To God be the glory. Thank you.